morning. I swear a lot.
Hello friends, and welcome to reading time with ULTRAKILL with V1, because V1 doesn't read so good. He points real good and shoots guns real well, but perhaps not the best at reading comprehension. So despite the fact that the Cybergrind is literally right there, we're not doing it. We're gonna read enemy and item descriptions instead, I suppose. Oh, isn't this a handsome rogues gallery? Look at that. Oh yeah. Filth! Just straight up filth. Type, lesser husk. Data. Husks are physical manifestations of the souls of the damned. You're pretty standard. This is what people turn into, I guess. The physical form is based on the value of the original soul, which is determined by the strength of its will and its prevalence in public consciousness, the living souls that remember it. Filth are the lowest form of husk, whose souls was too weak and unimportant to even form a complete physical body. Even among husks, they have the lowest intelligence, driven purely by hunger. Strategy. Most weapons are generally capable of taking down filth, but their powerful jaws and sheer numbers can overwhelm a target quickly if underestimated. Explosives are the most effective way to take down swarms, but any weapon that can hit more than one target will be efficient. I don't think a strategy is necessary for filth. They're filth, it's easy. So in this world, your power, or your just general state of being after death, is determined by the impacts you had on the real world, I suppose. So I'm sorry, I nudged the mouse and fucking V1 just looks at the sky. So, you know, your standard person who lives their standard life becomes a filth. I would probably become a filth as well. I'm guessing bigger forms are saved for more important people. What about this thing? This is a stray. Type, lesser husk. Data, while their tall stature may seem intimidating, strays are afraid of most danger, and will try to stay at a safe distance, only attacking via projectiles formed with hell energy. Although controlling and manifesting this energy is a complicated task, strays have very low intelligence and are only able to do so via pure instinct. Nevertheless, humans were unable to replicate this level of accuracy and control, particularly the stray's ability to cause the energy orbs to selectively ignore other husks. Most weapons will be effective against them, but a revolver headshot is the quickest and surest way to eliminate a stray. Due to their static nature and slow rate of attacking, they are an excellent target for projectile parrying, which I still fuck up, probably because it's so easy. It's like playing Guitar Hero on easy after you've played it on hard. You start fucking up a whole bunch because you expect it to be quicker and harder. So you preempt the inputs. But this up here, humans were unable to replicate this level of accuracy and control, implies that humans were always aware of hell. Humans know about hell, or were, I guess. They're all dead now, probably. But humans were familiar with hell. We've got a very Doom-like setting here. And they were attempting to replicate the manipulation of hell energy. For whatever purpose, I'm sure it went well. It might have even led to the apocalypse, who knows. Schism. Ah, good name. Type, this is a greater husk, are you sure? This thing's garbage. The result of two souls attempting to manifest in the same space, causing an amalgamation of two physical bodies. Due to the doubled body mass, they're quite resilient to damage, but have very poor motor control and thus cannot aim with any degree of accuracy, resorting to barrages of energy orbs in the general direction of their opponent's strategy. Piercers, revolvers, charged headshots are an efficient tool for a quick kill against schisms, though their displaced head can make aiming difficult for the inexperienced. Yeah, because it's just to the top left, right, instead of right where a head would normally be. A point-blank pump-charged shotgun blast with two pumps will be able to take them down in a single shot. Due to their poor aim, they aren't a priority target, but the sheer amount of projectiles can sometimes make avoiding them tricky in busy encounters. Indeed. I think I do prioritize them sometimes, I probably shouldn't. Pepsi Man. It's straight up Pepsi Man. I don't care what that says, this is Pepsi Man. Pepsi Men are an augmented version of strays whose technological implants have been scavenged from broken machines to channel hell energy with greater efficiency. This increase in power gives soldiers more self-confidence, causing them to act more aggressively than normal strays. Despite the enhancements, their intelligence remains low, and it is yet to be determined who or what actually augmented them. Was it Satan? The shotgun is an excellent weapon against soldiers as long as it's used swift so as to not allow them to protect themselves with melee attacks. Since soldiers charge their shots in front of them rather than above them, the charge is also easier to interrupt via a precise revolver shot for an explosive kill, which is hype as fuck. Thanks to their augmentation, soldiers are able to withstand normal explosions with little to no damage. The more powerful red explosions will go through their guard, however, and they are not able to block it if not on the ground. Yeah, that was a whole thing with the rocket launchers. You're supposed to knock them into the air. I never really got the hang of it. And then suddenly the corpse of King Minos were just doing this straight away. Supreme Husk. Is this what Balthazar Gelt turns into when he dies? Once the great and beloved king of the Lust Layer, Minos has now been reduced to a shambling corpse. Strange to think you could be reduced to a corpse in the afterlife if you technically already had to be a corpse to get there, but What do I know? Due to his incredible power of will and status as a just ruler in life, remembered even millennia after his death, the manifestation of his soul is the largest husks who have ever been recorded. He is pretty big. Small traces of the original soul can still be detected in the body, but the corpse itself is animated and controlled entirely by the snake-like parasites that he once commanded. Despite once bringing upon the renaissance of the lust layer, his corpse now only seeks sinners to punish. Due to his large stature, it can be quite difficult to recover blood from him, but his hands are usually holding onto the walls of the arena, which can be used for refueling. Any weapon will work against an enemy this large, but melee and projectile parries make for a quick way to inflict grave damage. Although it moves slowly, the black hole he summons is extremely dangerous and cannot be destroyed. Dude was a fucking pain in the ass, though giving him the ultimate fist bump was pretty satisfying, it must be said. It is a pretty cool thing to do. Cool boss, but I wasn't entirely keen on him. Stalker. God, I hate these things. Get out of here, Stalker. As the Greed Layer's punishment, Stalkers have been forced to carry heavy boulders up the monuments of mankind's greed for all eternity. They have carried out their punishment for so long that their bodies have evolved, warped and grown to better suit it. Their limbs have twisted to give them better balance while carrying boulders on their backs, and their skin and muscles have completely dried up, allowing them to survive direct contact with the dunes of gold dust that Greed's sun has raised to unfathomably high temperatures. So that's why you fucking die if you touch the sand, because it's not sand, it's literal gold dust, it's metal. And metal heats up like a motherfucker. I'm really getting annoyed at the fact every time I nudge my mouse, I look skyward. However, an unidentified sentient force has replaced the boulders they would normally carry with high-tech bombs that, upon detonation, will transform any nearby blood into the gold dust sand that covers the layer's surface. Research has shown the technology to be very similar to the augmentations of the modified strays known as soldiers, so it is likely both modifications come from the same source. So there is a faction doing things of some kind. The lights on the canister give information on a stalker's state. The color shows the state of their explosive, and the brightness of the color shows how much health the stalker has left. It is advisable to forcibly detonate a stalker rather than allowing one to detonate itself, as the latter explosion will have a large area of effect. If a stalker gets too close to his target and can no longer be pushed away, a ground slam wave can push them out of range so they can be detonated safely in midair, since the explosion is mostly horizontal. That's weird. Attaching magnets to a stalker will reduce the radius of its detonation. That makes sense. Because magnets, metal. I don't know if magnets work on gold, but still, makes sense. Cool, okay, well, they're really fucking annoying and I don't like them. Insurrectionist, yeah, this guy's a motherfucker. Supreme Husk. The Sisyphean insurrectionists were an army of husks gathered and trained by King Sisyphus for overthrowing heaven's control of hell. This is becoming relevant to Hades' playthrough now. Freeing the sinners from their eternal torment and Limbus, because this is the most amount of times I've said sinners outside of Limbus. During an era of chaos in heaven, as the angelic watch was absent, Sisyphus began setting his plan in motion as his forces recruited all husks that were intelligent enough to be useful to their cause and began attacking the demons that wandered the dunes of greed. Upon the establishment of the council and the subsequent return of peace to heaven, Gabriel and an army of angels were sent down to crush the insurrection and subjugate Sisyphus' army. Although their battle was well fought, the inexperienced insurrectionists could not match the educated strategy of the angels, who quickly descended upon King Sisyphus with great force, eventually overpowering and killing him, leaving the insurrectionists without a chain of command. Left scattered and disoriented, the warriors were easily picked off one by one, their bodies cut apart, leaving behind only the bare essentials required to carry on their eternal punishment of hauling heavy boulders up the monuments of mankind's arrogance and greed. Although the blood of their enemies still stain their bodies and their grasp still clutches their fallen foes, their will and fierce fury only serve as mental torment in knowing how close they were to freedom. The Sisyphean insurrectionists soak their feet in the blood of their enemies to protect them from the heat of greed's dunes, but the rest of their body is still skin and flesh, which can be set aflame to greatly weaken their defenses, increasing the damage of any attack dealt to them. Though they have practically unlimited range, each of the insurrectionists' swings has strengths and weaknesses. Learning which way to dodge to avoid each attack is vital. The insurrectionist stomp is fast and destructive, so it's inadvisable to stay close for long, but that's my primary combat style, is to get in there and shotgun and punch things to death. The malicious face they wield as a weapon is not a part of their body, so hitting it will not deal damage to an insurrectionist, but this also means that it can still be used to heal even if its wielder's blood has been turned to sand. Interesting. Okay. I want to get used. I feel like just learning to parry these guys is the best way to deal with them. And it's not particularly hard. It's just if you're in a busy combat zone, it can be difficult to turn around and try and focus on parrying them while you're also dealing with 10 other dudes. I've found. Who are you? The Ferryman. or ferrymen are apparently... Oh, there's more than one. That's not comforting. Apparently there's more. Ferrymen are rare husks whose powerful bodies, trained skills, and blind faith have granted them the chance of becoming the transporters of souls between the layers of hell. They have each been given a holy cloth by heaven as a symbol of their devotion to God's order, which they wear over their bodies to hide the human form that they've grown to despise as a reminder of their sins in life, stopping them from becoming angels, to the extent that they have torn off their own skin and flesh, leaving behind only bones. Sometimes you gotta live your gimmick. Due to the holy power emanating from the cloth, ferrymen's skeletal bodies have slowly been colored bright and radiant, and their skulls have enough latent energy to open gates that otherwise stop husks from exiting their places of torment. Each ferry can only have one ferryman at a time, so when a new ferryman is formed, it will fight another to the death in order to take their place. The losers and inherit their cloth. The loser's skull is taken as a trophy and used to grant the winner passage across the layers in order to transport the souls of the damned to their destinations. Ferrymen will often use the knowledge from their past life to improve their ferries, growing past the need for oars, which are now used by ferrymen only as weapons. Yeah, that is an oar, isn't it? As the influx of souls has ended with the death of mankind, the ferrymen have lost their purpose and now wander around aimlessly, hoping that the angels would grant them passage into heaven, despite Gabriel being the only one who cares about their efforts. And he's busy. Ferrymen choose their attacks based on their opponent's actions. When approached, they move to safety, and when retreated from, they'll apply pressure via attacks with greater reach. That's pretty cool. I like that, actually. Despite its looks, their uppercut is quite dangerous and can be difficult to dodge. It's best not to stay in the air for too long, which is good, because I'm shit at that anyway. Some of their attacks are parryable and some are not. Pay attention to the color of their warning flash to learn which are which. Ferrymen may attempt to cross a retreating opponent by rolling behind them before attacking. Keep track of their position. If they roll too often, try being more aggressive. So, this is literally what I'm talking about every time, and I've done this lecture like 5 or 6 times in recent memory. But if you're too defensive, your opponent becomes aggressive. You need to be aggressive in order to defend yourself. You have to jab in order to throw them off you. The boxing analogy. And it's also a fighting game analogy. If you just block the whole time, your opponent will keep swinging at you. And this guy even does cross-ups. So, he really is just a fighting game character. They should probably put this guy in Yomi. That'd be cool. I'd like to fight this guy in Yomi, or fight as this guy in Yomi. He's got an uppercut, for God's sake. Swords machine! This guy's rad. He's a greater machine. Its original form is unrecognizable after years of scavenging scrap and rebuilding itself, but among scrapheads, the swords machine is quite famous due to its combat prowess and self-made form. Ugly to most, but beautiful to enthusiasts, spawning many copycats. It's fucking dope. It wields a self-made sword with a motor on it that, when revved, will heat the blade, cutting through most organic matter with ease. Due to its possessive hoarding behavior, it's one of the few machines still capable of vocalization, ability most have discarded for more efficient resource management. Despite its excellent performance against Hell's denizens, its design does not take into account extremely mobile opponents, so the best way to avoid its blades is to jump out of its vertical range. Its motorized sword makes for predictable attacks, making the swords machine an excellent target for parrying. Although its use of ranged weapons is limited at its primitive at best, its sword throws can be unexpectedly accurate thanks to its mastery of the weapon. These guys are always a little dangerous. Definitely not the scariest thing on the field, but they're aggressive, they can catch you out, and they do a lot of damage quite quickly. They're spooky. Oh, I hate this thing. I hate this thing. Drone, a mass-produced security device built as both a surveillance camera and a security guard. Though originally built to only use non-lethal ammunition, they have scavenged part from the defunct machines on the surface for greater efficiency at collecting blood. Curious by nature, but to keep production costs low, their intelligence is very limited. Due to their light weight, physical projectiles such as nails will push them around, making them harder to deal consistent damage to. On death, they will make a last-ditch effort to harm their opponent with a self-destruct, but powerful single attacks and explosives will make them explode instantly. Punching a drone will redirect their suicide dive, making them a high-risk offensive opportunity. Yeah, I like that. Their scanning mechanism makes a chirping sound, which can be listened for to make them easier to track down, as their flight and small size can lead them to hard-to-reach places. Yeah, but combat zones are usually so fucking loud you wouldn't be able to hear them anyway. Street Cleaner, that's a really good name, actually. I prefer calling them Flame Boy, but Street Cleaner is an excellent name. Originally built as a way to purify the tainted air of cities after the climate catastrophe, street cleaners were made obsolete during the New Peace, which I've literally never heard of, and were repurposed as scouts for Hell expeditions. Okay, confirmed. Humanity is aware of Hell. Or was. However, their urge to clean remained, and after the fall of mankind, they began burning any organic matter they came across in an effort to purify the world. Due to their combat experience, they can be tricky to take down with projectiles or explosives. They like to dodge. It's annoying. The canister on their back is a major weak point that can be shattered with a precision shot, such as a marksman coin ricochet from behind. That's a pretty baller move. Point-blank attacks can also be very effective, but must be performed quickly to avoid the fire of their flamethrowers. I do tend to just shotgun them to death, but you know, that's my solution to everything. When you've got a hammer, everything starts looking like a nail. V2 Supreme Machine, I believe it. The V model was built for war, with V1 boasting a new kind of exterior plating that allowed refueling through contact with blood, rather than through a separate blood refueling process. Due to its necessary thinness, it is far less durable, but the ability to fix itself and rebuild broken parts on the fly would outweigh the negatives on an active battlefield. However, during the prototyping phase, the new piece was established and war became irrelevant. V1's planned production was cancelled, and an updated model, V2, was developed instead using the standardized plating, since durability is far more important during times of peace when no bloodshed was necessary. Why do you even need a combat robot during peace? Neither model ever reached mass production due to the end of wars completely draining any demand, so it's likely only a single prototype build of each model remains in existence. And now none of V2. V2 is adept at controlling space and will take advantage of this to change the flow of battle to throw off its opponents. Stay too close and it will run away. Stay far away and it will come close, similar to the Ferryman. V2's high mobility makes it a tricky target to hit and especially difficult to heal off of. When in need of blood and unable to catch up, it's recommended to stay away from it and let it come to you instead. V2 will change weapons depending on the distance from its target, so if one of its weapons is difficult to avoid, a change in proximity will close it off. Knowledge of the synergies of one's own arsenal can allow one to turn V2's weapons against it. Indeed, indeed. Sentry! Fuck this thing. One of the many war machines created during the final war. Although there were attempts to find new purpose for them during New Peace, their streamlined design made them unable to be repurposed until the start of the Hell expeditions. Their extremely powerful legs and feet allow them to dig into the ground, making them immovable by most forces and allowing them to easily line up any shot without interruption. Despite their size, many were built to be extremely light, which when combined with the power of their legs allows them to move extremely fast speeds. Such power and lightness have made their legs one of the most sought after parts by scrapheads. Most machines will only render a simplified approximation of their visual surroundings for faster processing speed, but sentries use full renders instead, giving them perfect accuracy even over long distances. Due to their powerful legs, once they've dug into the ground, they can no longer move. Once dug in, the only way to interrupt their attack are shooting them with the electric rail cannon, hitting their antenna with the revolver, launching them with the ground slam wave, or punching them with the knuckle blaster, which is very fun. As long as they haven't dug in, their lightweight makes them easy to launch and keep in the air where they are harmless. A good way to disable a sentry for a longer period of time is to shoot nails into them with a nail gun, and then place a magnet in a nearby ceiling or wall, which will pull them once they've been knocked off balance. That's very funny. Fuck this guy. Gutter Man. Built in the early days of the final war, the Gutter Men were one of the first successful experiments in using blood as a fuel source, as well as the first automatons to be deployed in wide-scale conflict. So this is our predecessor, essentially. And a fucking excellent concept, I must say. During the war's first phase, an era of trench warfare, these seemingly unstoppable walls were airdropped into enemy trenches, which they would then slowly and systematically clear out, as all opposing soldiers would have to choose between being minced by the Gutterman or running out of the trench and getting mowed down by machine gun fire. These guys would be especially effective in a trench, actually, because that shield would make them a fucking wall. You just close off a section of trench. They're like perfectly designed for trench warfare, if they can be airdropped into the trench. Honestly, assaulting a trench would be pretty easy for these guys as well, because like, yeah, machine gun fire, but that fucking shield. Researchers had not yet found a way to keep the blood inside a machine fresh, so a live fuel source was strapped inside, kept alive by minimal life support before the gutter men were welded shut. Oh my god, yeah, that's literally a coffin on its back, right. Warhammer 40k wishes it was that dire. Jesus Christ. Although publicly these fuel sources were claimed to be volunteer patriots, most were deserters, battle-fatigued, returnees, or prisoners of war. Wow. Forces from far beyond took notice of the cruelty man was capable of, and the suffering of these human blood supplies served as an inspiration for the creation of the mannequins, which is why they're both on violence. Yeah, that makes sense. The shield is a Gutterman's main defense. Destroying it with a knuckle blaster will cause them to take increased damage. Although slow at first, their tracking will improve the longer they maintain line of sight. It's best not to stay out in the open for too long. Once the shield has been broken, the Gutterman's punches can be parried, which resets their tracking. A Gutterman's corpse can be ground slammed to cause a large explosion that damages surrounding enemies and launches the attacker high into the air. That's pretty fun. I like that. God, those things are terrifying. Gutter Tank. As gutter men single-handedly ended the trench warfare era of the final war, armies scrambled to create countermeasures leading to the creation of more machines of war. Built from the foundations of gutter men to save time, gutter tanks were equipped with highly efficient explosives and arms capable of damaging and destroying thick armor. The slow, lumbering wolves that once dominated the field had now become obsolete. That was quick. As human soldiers had quickly become useless in war, seriously, utterly outclassed by machines, they were almost entirely phased out. This led to the second era of the final war, where machines fought machines in a back-and-forth tide as new designs were phased in and out at a feverish pace, and each design specifically to counter the last. That's funny, actually, because I've been playing the Fall of the Republic mod for Star Wars Empire at War recently, playing as the Republic, fighting the Separatists, and they all use droids, you know, B1 battle droids, Roger, etc., etc. But I captured a planet as the Republic that allows me to produce my own war droids, different to the B1s, like I can't remember what they're called, like LR-57s or something, but I've basically been building droids en masse to fight the droids, so I've got my own machine versus machine war going on in something completely different, and it's an interesting dynamic, it really is. And it's a fun concept. Although at first the soldiers celebrated returning home, they soon found that the pointless, endless arms race left little in its wake. All the resources were used on machines of war, and impoverished civilians had to struggle to survive. Home was just another battlefield, a war of all against all. Conquest leads to war leads to famine, famine leads to, I think it's literally, yeah, because it's the four horsemen: conquest, war, famine, death. The beast did say, come and see. The gutter tank's punch is deceptively fast and powerful. The best way to get close safely is to bait a punch before closing the gap. Oh, fighting game strategies! Due to reused technology, the freeze-frame rocket launcher is capable of freezing gutter tank's rockets too, making them temporarily incapable of long-range combat. That's interesting. That could be very useful. Earth Mover, I love that now, according to everything we've just read, this was used by humanity in war. That's so funny. Supreme machine. Earth movers were the pinnacle of the arms race, often called the horsemen of the apocalypse. Nice, good touch. It took only one to level an entire city and leave nothing but fire in its wake. The last era of the final war had begun. The first machines large enough to house a shield generator, these walking fortresses could only be made vulnerable from within, making the new front lines for smaller, more mobile war machines even. Due to their colossal size, they required both blood and solar power to function. Do you know, now, I didn't realize this before I started recording, but do you realize how much I want an RTS or a 4X strategy game based on the ULTRAKILL universe? Because now I do. I want to play the final war as like a 4X. That would be a lot of fun. That would be fucking cool. But I digress. When the final era escalated, cleansing the world with fire, the surviving civilians were forced to evacuate and build new homes on the backs of these machines. That's really cool. As the surface became an inhospitable wasteland where no flora or fauna could flourish, eventually the soot, smoke, and decay from unending global war would blot out the sun, casting the world into the long night, and Earth movers, unable to feed on sunlight, shut down and died out one by one. War had become entirely dependent on them. Large-scale conflict was no longer feasible. Finally, mankind started to work together to reverse the effects of the long night and climate catastrophe, and so began the new peace. 200 years of war for its own sake ended not with a bang, but utter silence. At the brink of despair, the planet would slowly learn to breathe once more, and the corpses of these titans would serve as a stark reminder of just how close mankind was to an apocalypse by their own hand. That's fucking cool. Each part of the security system is immobile, making them very vulnerable to attacks that would otherwise easily miss, such as freeze-frame rockets. Some of the gaps in the main computer room's defense grid are too high for a normal jump, but the elevated edges of the room can be used to get higher. More adept movers may instead jump in immediately after a ground slam to gain enough height. I am not adept mover at all. I got hit constantly. I won that boss fight by spamming damage. It was basically a DPS race. Whoops, I elbowed my microphone, I am sorry. Very professional. There are some enemies I haven't even seen, apparently. I guess there are secret levels which I haven't played, so that checks out. So this is a malicious face. Yes, I am familiar. I fought so fucking many of them. It's a lesser demon. We're coming into demons now. Demons are creatures born from the mass of hell. They are most easily recognizable by their hard, stone-like exterior and slow movement. Demons have higher intelligence than husks, but are still incapable of rational thought and communication. No demons have been able to pass the mirror test, though studies are limited due to their hostility. I'd love to summon this in Shin Megami Tensei. I've only ever played Lucifer's Call. I really want to play more Shin Megami Tensei. Malicious faces are the most common type of demon, but are incredibly dangerous, especially in swarms, due to their mastery of the use of hell energy as a weapon. Due to their burst fire, they can be quite difficult to get close to, so despite the effectiveness of a point-blank shotgun shot, it is very effective. Nails are the recommended course of action, with magnets enabling long-range combat. Due to their invulnerability to explosions, they don't need to hold back the energy of their beam attacks, so staying away from walls and other surfaces is recommended when they begin charging an energy beam. Yeah. I am quite familiar with how to fight them by this point, but maybe I should focus on using nails on them more. I should probably focus on using the blue nail gun a bit more, perhaps, because it sounds like the magnets have a lot of applications. This is Cerberus? I don't know about that. Although they do not resemble the mythological three-headed dog, this name was chosen due to their nature as protectors of hell. However, it's not yet known why some stay dormant despite provocation. Despite the fact that keeping an energy orb stable takes a considerable amount of focus and effort, they seem to always keep one in hand, most likely as a display of their power to scare off intruders. Due to remaining entirely stationary until awoken, they move quite slowly, so engagement at distance is easy to control until they start moving. They're quite adept at range combat by throwing their orb, but in order to avoid damaging themselves, they will not initiate a throw while their target is close, which can be used to manipulate their behavior, though once a throw is started, it cannot be stopped, as I've noticed, to my extreme detriment. Due to the extreme concentration of their energy orbs, throwing ones explode on physical impact, so staying close to surfaces such as the floor or any walls will make avoiding ranged attacks more difficult, so you want to get aerial to avoid that. I see. Interesting. Fuck this thing, it's so annoying. Hideous masses are a rare occurrence when an excessive amount of hell energy, or hell mass, is poured into a single shell. I know that hell energy and hell mass isn't the same thing, it's just I read it wrong. Causing it to overflow and burst at the seams. Due to the broken seams allowing for mobility without having to bend the exterior, the stone has hardened more than the shell of most demons, making it completely impervious to all currently known attacks. Although its stone exterior makes for an impenetrable defense, the hideous mass's belly and tail remain exposed and vulnerable. While standing up, a quick burst of close-range damage is the most effective way to hurt them, though this will most likely cause it to change formation, so being quick and decisive is the key. When in its low formation, keeping a safe distance is recommended due to its melee capabilities and high-speed tail harpoon, though the brave or suicidal, and God knows I am both in this game, may attempt to climb on its back to continue dealing close-range damage to the tail, which I like doing. When caught by the harpoon, it's recommended to either punch the harpoon or damage the tail to remove it. Yeah, I need to remember to do that. Idol. Although they can be easily mistaken to be idol of divine origin, the idols were created using the same process as other demons. Unlike their larger kin, their shells were too small to contain a useful amount of hell mass, creating life, but leaving it unable to move or act, a punishment worse than death, I'm sure. The idols did not originally look divine, but were painstakingly carved to such shapes by ferrymen who collected them during travels across the layers of hell. This was done as both an act of compassion and as a tribute to angels, particularly Gabriel, whom ferrymen believed to have similarly granted them mercy. Close proximity to a ferryman's holy cloth during the long and arduous carving process caused its holy power to seep into them, allowing them to continue the chain of compassion by protecting others from physical harm. It is fortunate for them that Gabriel is the only angel of heaven's higher order to watch over hell, since if the council had found out about such beings, they would have labeled them perversions of the divine form and ordered them to be destroyed by the ferryman who had so lovingly granted them a second chance at life. I see. Although idols are immune to projectiles, they can be destroyed by a blunt force melee attack such as a punch or a ground slam. I should probably use ground slams more often because I often miss with the punch. Blessed enemies cannot be damaged by attacks, but will still be pushed by physical forces and can be killed by environmental dangers such as crushers or fans. Neither idols nor blessed enemies can be grappled onto with the whiplash, much to my frustration. And we come to this thing. Fucking mannequins. During the departure of the angels after the disappearance of God, many sinners attempted to escape the violence layer, braving the labyrinth that lay at its edges, thinking they could find a way out into the absence of heaven's wardens. The fools who attempted would realize far too late that angels were not all that kept them from freedom, as the garden of forking paths is no ordinary labyrinth, but one of malicious intent, overseen with cunning cruelty. The halls, each similar enough to give no sense of direction, but just different enough to grant no familiarity, would eventually exhaust each escapee, and as they fell into a deep sleep, their metamorphosis began. Each sinner was torn apart joint by joint, their broken and shattered limbs shoved into hollow statues, startling them to life as the flesh and blood of mannequins. The gift of death is a rare privilege in hell, so the sinners who attempted to control their fate now lay dormant in eternal agony, unable to control even their own bodies, which now continue to carry on the same punishments to other unfortunate fools. Poor unfortunate fools. Though they are nimble, if a mannequin is knocked into the air or hit while clinging onto a surface, they lose their balance when landing, granting a small window for an easier hit. Those fast enough may even punch them in the air while they're vulnerable, killing them in a single blow. I think I did that by accident once. Just through pure volume of punches, I was bound to land it eventually, right? Mannequin projectiles can be difficult to avoid due to their homing capabilities, but this makes them even easier to parry with the feedbacker. Mannequins are easier to hit with a large radius of explosions, but are more resistant against them than other weaponry. They're a fucking pain in the ass is what they are, goddamn. What a nuisance. Cool. Type Supreme Demon, data, unknown, no data. The Minotaur, one of the oldest known surviving demons, was sculpted by Redacted as a gift for the then Judge of Hell, Minos, in an attempt to form some kind of rapport. Though its creator considered it beautiful, a personalized monument of death and despair, Minos was terrified by the grotesque caricature of his past mistakes and cast it into the Garden of Forking Paths, hoping it would never be seen again. Now the Minotaur is old and its body falling apart, running blind through the labyrinth in a desperate attempt to break out, its only desire to see the sky for one last time. So, bearing in mind that thing gave me a lot of fucking trouble, this is like a broken down, weaker version of what it used to be. Although difficult to heal from due to its distance, it is best to be patient. New trams will often arrive, carrying weaker foes for easier healing. Much of its body is protected, but its guts are exposed, making for an easy, consistent target. That thing is fucking annoying, goddamn. Great, cool, interesting, fucking annoying. Ah, Gabriel. Ah, how the mighty have fallen. Oh, actually, he's doing pretty well now, so fair enough. Gabriel, Judge of Hell, one of the most respected and feared archangels, Gabriel earned his reputation through power and efficiency. Regardless of the task given, Gabriel would always perform it quickly and decisively, earning him the title of Judge of Hell after dethroning Minos and ending the Lust Renaissance. Oh, so he did that. Okay, interesting. Despite answering to the council, he is far more popular and beloved among angels due to his radiant personality and active nature, especially compared to the council that strictly follows and upholds the dogma of the faith. Gabriel's movements are fast and his attacks are deadly, but by observing which weapon he manifests, his attacks can be accurately predicted before he even starts them. Gabriel's pride stops him from attacking while taunting his opponents, opening up a short window for healing. That's pretty cool. His swords are fucking sick, incidentally. What a cool guy, just generally. I don't know, I think he's very cool. Virtue, fuck these things. The basis of a lesser angel's forming are quite similar to that of the husk, wherein the physical manifestation of the soul is dependent on its value, though unlike for husks, virtuousness also acts as a factor for angels. Lesser angels come from human souls which are formed into abstract or animalistic shapes, making them distinct from the humanoid bodies of greater and supreme angels, who are created as such and are considered purer and placed higher on heaven's societal hierarchy. But these virtues, these angels have frequently fought alongside demons. So what's the deal there? Big heaven conspiracy, I'm gonna blow it wide open. Due to their past lives as humans, virtues are often sent to complete tasks that greater angels deem below them or otherwise uninteresting, such as acting as wardens in hell. Their virtues use heavenly fire to punish sinners who aren't acting out their punishment, in order to not waste Gabriel's time with minor offenses and fluctuations. Virtues are normally known to have a multitude of eyes, though for unknown reasons these eyes have been hidden or removed for ones that becomes wardens in hell. Some have speculated that this may be related to why almost all husks lack eyes, with the only verified exception being the previous Judge of Hell, King Minos. Little is known about the specifics of angels, as heaven is exclusionary and segregated due to wanting little to no direct contact with God's human experiment, which went horribly wrong. Verticality and cover give little safety against the virtue's light beams, so constant horizontal movement is encouraged, though retracting one's steps can be dangerous as the beams linger. If ignored for too long, virtues will get really fucking pissed, making their light beams predict their target's movement, although it's easy to avoid their attacks with enough space, leaving them unattended can quickly turn the tables in their favor. I find it's best to fucking kill them as quickly as possible. You do not need to be sniped, indirectly or directly. Gabriel, but a lot angrier this time. Apostate of hate. Having twice clashed with the machine and lost, Gabriel realized he had been mistaken. The strong fire that burned inside him was not hatred at all, but passion. Gabriel had never before known the joy of a struggle, of coming face to face with an opponent of equal or greater measure. Though he had lost twice, each loss only further grew his desire to overcome. Up until now, he had only done what was expected of him, but now for the first time, he had found something he himself wanted. Not even the fast approaching end of hell mattered to him anymore. End of hell? What, hell is just ending? Is that happening? Still having to come to realize the horrors he had committed in God's name, he felt a great guilt. Though he could not undo what he had done, Gabriel knew he had to make things right and headed to hell for the last time. While Gabriel's speed has increased, his accuracy is not, and dodging diagonally or to the side will prove more fruitful than trying to run backwards out of the range of his swords. Yeah, I frequently go backwards and forwards and it gets me killed. Though his sword throw now may seem impossible to dodge, it will prove an excellent weapon if parried instead. Overcome with emotion, Gabriel will sometimes stop to taunt his opponent, creating a window for healing again. Glad he does that. I suppose we can go over the weapons as well, can't we? May as well while we're here. I love the revolver. A weapon created during the final war for medium to long distance combat uses electric pulses to fire microscopic pieces of metal at incredibly high speeds, so it's actually a really good revolver. Weapons that use this technology have been dubbed electric guns, and it quickly became the new standard, replacing bullet guns. This is actually a very similar concept to what the guns in Mass Effect do, where they have a massive block inside the magazine chamber, and the gun basically shaves off pellets to be used. And when you reload a gun in Mass Effect, you're actually just swapping out the heat sinks because the gun is overheating. Due to still requiring a microscopic projectile, its ammo is not actually infinite, but it would take weeks of non-stop firing to run out, and refilling it is as easy as just scraping some flakes from scrap metal or even the gun's surface. In fact, a rough, uneven surface from scraping flakes is considered a point of pride for wielders of electric guns, as it shows the weapon has been reliable and used for a long time. Many users even shave off flakes just for this reason, rather than for actual ammunition, making unflaked electric weapons an outlier. Although an electric gun requires some time to recharge its battery between shots, the revolver-style design bypasses that issue by including a multi-battery cylinder that rotates after each shot, allowing each battery time to charge without slowing down the rate of fire. Oh, so it literally, yeah, the chamber has a purpose. A common modification is to allow for the charges of all batteries to be released simultaneously for greater power, though this requires a longer recharge time. The revolver's precision and the instant travel time of its shots make it an excellent, reliable way to deal damage at a range, as long as it's unlikely anything could have reaction times fast enough to dodge it. Headshots deal 2 times damage, limb shots 1.5. When hit with precise timing during its flash, the marksman variation's coin can split a shot in 2, causing it to hit 2 targets instead of just 1. Although the timing is tight, there is a second, much longer window if the coin remains airborne for an extended period of time, recognizable by its continuous whistling sound. The marksman variation's coin can be punched after it has flashed, launching it into the nearest target without breaking the coin, increasing its damage further for subsequent punches or shots. The piercer's charged shot can also ricochet off the marksman's variation's coins, presumably for a lot of damage. And a guaranteed hit, as long as you hit the coin, which you might not. I don't know. I probably wouldn't. I'm very bad at these things. An experimental close-range weapon that uses hyper-concentrated heat as its projectiles. After each shot, the shotgun must be opened to allow its heat-generating cores to vent excess heat, stopping them from melting or exploding. This process is largely automated, requiring little more from the user than a flick of the wrist. In case of core failure, the pump can be used as a manual heat-building mechanism. This process has been simplified via a small button near the grip that pumps the shotgun without requiring physical force from the user, although its ease of use has also greatly increased the amount of reported misfires from users pumping too much heat into a single shot. Yeah. Heat weapons never caught on as much as electric weapons due to their volatile nature and strict cooling requirements, but unlike electric weapons, they don't require a separate projectile, making their ammunition truly infinite rather than just practically infinite. The shotgun is only effective at extremely close distances, making it a risky but very devastating damage dealer. This also makes it ideal for healing. Can parry melee attacks via a point-blank shot to the chest, riskier than using the feedback at arm, but with higher damage as a reward. That's very cool. Quickly swapping weapons skips the wait time after a shot, allowing for continuous bursts of massive damage at the risk of having to stay close for an extended period of time. The core eject variation's core can be shot out of the air via a hit scan weapon such as the revolver to increase the radius and damage of its explosion. An already explosive hit scan will increase its radius even further. The slowness of the condensed heat projectiles may seem like a detriment at first, but this means that a well-timed punch with the feedbacker arm can hit them, parrying one's own shot for far greater accuracy, speed, and damage, which has been an absolute staple of my fucking fighting style, for better or worse. A combination of parts from an industrial nail gun and an old bullet gun, most likely engineered by a machine that was built for construction work, as all machines, even those not built for war, had to learn to fend for themselves after the extinction of mankind. Bullet guns were largely abandoned after the invention of infinite ammunition systems, such as electric weapons and heat weapons, largely due to how much cheaper not having to buy ammunition for large-scale armies became over time. Although the original ammunition system made it useless and largely abandoned, this gun was still excellently designed and built, so with some retrofitting of parts from an industrial nail gun, it has become a rapid-fire projectile weapon with practically infinite metal ammunition. As is to be expected from an improvised weapon though, its design is far from perfect. As the nail regeneration system was not designed to work at such a high rate, it's liable to overheat if a hard rate limit isn't set on it, though some variants have instead opted for built-in heat sinks. Due to the nature of its limited ammunition, the nail gun is best used in short bursts rather than extended periods of time. The attractive variations magnets will also affect the nail guns from other nail gun variations, or nails from other nail gun variations, allowing the bypassing of otherwise limiting factors such as the heat burst from the overheat variation having poor accuracy. Some enemies, such as malicious faces, are generally weak to nails, and in particular the higher quality nails from the hard limited attractor variation will decimate most weak foes. Nails become nails become embedded in enemies, causing some special effects. Electric weapons will receive a damage boost from hitting an enemy that has nails in it, and with enough nails, light enemies become magnetized and pulled by the attractor's variation's magnets, allowing for easy temporary disabling of durable light enemies. The speed of the barrel's spin carries over between variations, meaning shooting even once with the attractor variation gives maximum heat for the overheat variation, allowing for an instant full overheat burst. That's very interesting, actually. I think I want to try using the magnet a bit more often though, because it sounds like there's a lot you can do with that. This industrial tool is one of the earliest uses for the technology that eventually became electric guns. Originally meant as a handheld generator, allowing for an easy way to generate electricity for temporary relocation, such as encampments during wars or expeditions. As with most similar industrial tools, once mankind fell, it was repurposed as a weapon by the machine that wielded it, turning it from a lower voltage constant output into a single extremely high burst of energy that requires a long recharge time between shots. Although a risky weapon since its recharge time is so long, the rail cannon's power makes it a worthy tool to wield, especially for someone carrying multiple weapons that they can use while the rail cannon's battery recharges. Each variation serves a different purpose, and since they all share the same cooldown, it's important to know which version to use in any given situation. Total recharge time is 16 seconds. Current charge is indicated by a lightning bolt on the HUD. The electric variation can hit the marksman's revolver's coins. Since it has infinite piercing power with good timing and good positioning, one can shoot through an enemy to hit a coin, which will then ricochet the shot back into the same enemy, more than doubling the total damage dealt by a single shot, which would presumably kill practically anything. By using the feedback arm to punch an enemy that the screwdriver variation screw is attached to, it can be relaunched, dealing an extra burst of damage to the enemy. If the screw hits another enemy, its timer will be fully reset, meaning a screw can be juggled between enemies practically infinitely with good timing and aim, though it will break if the enemy it's attached to dies. I fucking love Giga Drill Break. The malicious variation's explosion range and damage can be greatly increased by hitting an airborne core from the core eject shotgun. This technique is highly risky since missing means wasting the entire shot and having to wait another 16 seconds, but its rewards are bountiful. I believe it. I'm not good enough to pull off this kind of tech mid-fight, I'm just putting it out there. Another weapon that used to be an industrial tool, as is visible from it and the rail cannon's more vibrant color schemes compared to guns such as the revolver, shotgun, and nail gun, which uses a bullet weapon as its base. As with most advanced technologies, it was originally created for use in war, as its explosive generating system was extremely fast at digging trenches, destroying obstacles, or resupplying explosive weapons. However, this tool itself could not be used as a launcher. Early models doubled as weapons, but including the systems for triggering the explosives often caused accidental chemical reactions during the generation process, detonating the explosives before they had been completed. Since then, the process has been split in two between the generating device and a separate rocket launcher, where the explosives generator builds the rest of a rocket and the rocket launcher applies the triggering mechanism. As machines rarely have the luxury of cooperation due to sharing blood with others being seen as a waste, the machine that created this weapon instead modified the generation process to work with just a single user and repurpose parts from a jackhammer for launching the projectile. That's very fun. Instead of using a normal explosion triggering mechanism, the rockets instead use the blood of the target to complete the chemical reaction, making the generation process safe, though the weapon is more difficult to use as it requires direct hits to cause damage. I see, so you can't do radius shit. You can't shoot the floor in front of something to hurt it. The skill required for effective use makes it daunting, though its power more than makes up for it, and many of its wielders specifically chose to use this as a symbol of their skill at marksmanship, which is probably why I'm shit with it. Rockets only cause a damage-dealing explosion when hitting a living target directly, but missing on purpose can be used to launch an enemy into the air, since a direct hit on a falling enemy causes a larger, more damaging explosion. Rockets that have been frozen with the freeze frame variation for longer than a second will always cause this higher damage explosion on impact with an enemy. The launcher requires very little preparation to be used, meaning it can be pulled out, quickly fired, and put back away to deal a quick burst of extra damage in the middle of another weapon switching combo. Rockets are pulled by the attractor's nail gun's magnets, though not as strongly as nails. The accuracy of the tracking can be increased by freezing rockets with the freeze frame variation. Good God. When hit with a whiplash, a rocket will be attached to the spear without stopping the throw. If the spear doesn't collide with anything else, the rocket will be pulled back with it, exploding on collision with the user. That's funny. The cannonballs from the SRS cannon can be punched to launch with greater force, shot with a hit scan weapon for an explosion, or dropped onto the ground to launch enemies. Light enemies will be airborne when pulled by the whiplash, making them very easy targets to hit for the falling enemy explosion bonus. However, this requires a lot of distance from the target if the user wishes to avoid the explosion's increased radius. Some machines, such as V1, nudge nudge wink wink, are light enough to ride a rocket. This can be achieved by freezing a rocket with the freeze frame variation and jumping onto it. Even with the low weight, the rocket will eventually lose power, causing it to drop gradually. But when underwater, V1 is light enough to not cause this drop, so you can ride it underwater like a fucking speedboat, which is pretty fun. That's pretty cool. I like that. Although the cannonballs from the SRS cannon variation can be punched the moment they've been launched, they will have greater durability if punched after they've bounced off an enemy. That's neat. Well, that's the weapons. Fucking hell. Thank fuck I don't have to read item descriptions for the punches. For the fists. That's lucky. Fuck it, we shall do one Cybergrind, because we're here, we may as well, right? You know. All that talking built me up a mighty thirst for combat. I think talking for an hour has not put me in the right mindset, but maybe it has. You know what? I'll figure it out. It's fine. I'll be okay. Don't worry about it. I just need to get used to things. Yeah, see, deal with him. It's very fun. Oh. Fuck, I missed. Who could even love a man such as me? Fucking hell. Spinny. I missed. Whatever. Don't even care. Fuck you. Moving on. Every failure is a success as long as you succeed in the end, right? I can pretend that every time I fuck up, it's actually me, doing it on purpose. Well, that dealt with him, didn't it? Certainly. That worked out. That was just fun. I don't know. Wasn't exactly tactically viable, but it was enjoyable. He really wanted to hit me. Very nice. Whom else? Okay, very good. Ah, yes, very good. Where you at, fools? Hello. Oh my god, that was the best shot I've ever taken. Holy crap. And I've done tequila. I fucking love tequila. Tequila doesn't love me, but I love tequila. I'll tequila you in a minute. I'm very funny. People laugh at my jokes. Oh, yes, they do. Even if they don't admit it, they do. That was a bad move. That was a bad move. Ooh. Okay. Foreman pulled out some tech, I guess. It worked out. Yep, dealt with you. Oh god, there's a virtue. Excuse me, sir. Can you fuck off, please? Thank you. Good. You will die. You will die by my hand. Well, this is comfortable. Take that, idiot. I pissed on your grave, you idiot. I should probably get moving. That was not a good place to be, and I used up all my dashes. I did get oh, you don't have blood. Oh, that's a problem. You're the only one with blood. Okay. Ooh. I shouldn't do the melee shit when they're, you know, covered in sand. Ugh. I'm a little... There we go. Okay, whew. That got a little dicey, not gonna lie. I made some bad decisions, you know? It happens. I want it. Yeah! Woo! Fuck you. Yeah, that's what I thought, idiot. Yeah! Oh, can't be stopped. Too strong. I gave him something to think about, I'm sure. Probably shouldn't get stuck in a tiny little... Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Ooh. Fucking wow. Yeah, they combo damage on me very quickly. But you know what? I got some good hits in. I was quite happy. Let's do one more. Why not? You've convinced me. You just keep jammering in my ear, and I'm like, you know what? Fine, let's do one more. All right, yeah, all right, you've convinced me. Let's do one more. All right, yeah, fine. All right, fine, yeah, all right, yeah, you've convinced me. All right, yeah, let's do one more. All right, fine. Whoops. Yes, boy! We're in there now. What a great day this is. I'm doing a Cybergrind, and after this recording, I'm recording Hades. Sometimes it's just good to be me. It's just good to be me sometimes, you know? It just is. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just having a great time. And today's one of those days. After that, I'm gonna go work on my next album. That's right, I've got an album out, and I'm doing another one. And, yep, it's a busy day. A good day for Foreman. Getting stuff done. Getting stuff done! It's what I do. Fuck you. Satisfying, worth it, totally happy. Fuck you, sirs. I dare say, you're all getting a little uppity, and you know, I don't appreciate it. Who do you think you are? You're just a bunch of fucking husks and machines. I'm a V1. They haven't come up with a rank higher than Supreme, but when they do, they'll give it to me. Because, obviously. Why wouldn't they? I didn't even know I switched to that, but... we'll make it work. Woo! I can't use that right now. I missed. I have failed. There is also a swords machine here I should probably fucking deal with. Yeah, like that. Dealt with. Oh, yeah. Fuck, I just didn't parry a single one of his attacks. Oh. Yeah, we're going again, fuck it. It's my video, I can do what I want. I can do what I want. You can't tell me what to do. I didn't run this channel for like, I think nearly 6 years now or something, I don't know. I'm not very consistent on knowing how long I've been doing this for, but I didn't do it for that long just so I could be told what to do. Damn fucking right. I really thought you would have been dead. I really assumed. That was my failing, I suppose. Come on. Yeah! Yeah! We like to have some fun around here. We do. We like to have a good time. Would you like another cannonball? Oh, fuck me. Ooh. I didn't even need to do that. I just felt very cool to do it, you know? I don't know. I just really like dunking the cannonball. It's very fun. I recommend you try it sometime. I do it every morning. That was not wise. That was not a smart thing I did, and I could easily be sniped by the final opponent if he wasn't stuck in the air right now. Oh, I wanted to punch it. Oh well. You can die. You must die. You must die. All of you must die. Now you might be watching this and thinking, boy, Foreman, you sure didn't learn anything from the strategies provided by the descriptions, and you're absolutely right. Yeah. You bitch. How fucking... Will you stay still? Thank you. What I thought was indeed... Oh, fuck. The stage transition nearly betrayed me. Ooh. Ooh. Fuck, yeah. Oh well. Okay, that'll do. That will do, because we're not really getting anywhere. The first attempt was the best one, by far. Someday I will dethrone John F. Fuck it, one more. I want one more attempt to dethrone John F. Kennedy. I need to do this for myself. He must be defeated. His reign cannot be allowed to continue. Ultra Church, give me the strength I need to succeed. Fuck, shit, I've already fucked it up. I'm using the wrong weapon. I've fucked up in multiple ways. There we go. Okay, it took a minute, but I got there. All right, I'm getting it together. Yeah, I figured it out. Okay, right, we're in there now. Violence! Wait, I need your blood, thank you. I need your blood too, thank you kindly. Oh. That was the wrong weapon. Thank you for your blood. Yep. Alright, I need to be better. I just need to be better in general. Will you die, please? Thank you. Woo! Off he goes. Yeah! Where you at? You know what? Oh, sad. Fuck. At least that doesn't hurt me, even though I do have blood in me. Deal with him, I suppose. Ooh. I mean, I'm just doing it for fun now, basically. I don't know. It's it does sometimes get this way where I'm like, this isn't for recording purposes. Really, what I'm doing right now, I'm just doing it because I enjoy it. But fuck me, do I enjoy it? I really do. Ooh, off you go. Come over here. Insert scorpion joke here. Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, you're there. Oh, cool. That's interesting. I really wanted to hit him with the fucking drill and I didn't, and that's very unfortunate. Wait, there you are. I couldn't find him for a second. Oh. I think it hits... No, it didn't hit anyone. Cool, brilliant, excellent. Yep, completely fucked that up. Marvelous. Love to see it. Boom. That's very funny. All right, buddy. Yeah. If that comes down and kills someone, I'll be so happy. It would really just make my fucking week, you know? I think you're a little more disruptive, sir. Should probably get moving. Sword Boy is right there, and he's still a little scary. There's Sword Boy, I found him, yes. Yeah, no chance, fuck you. Ah, nice and easy, yes, 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 yes. We will make big progress today. We will make big progress today. Except for, you know, because that guy's there, he's being very annoying. I fucking missed. No, no, it's all over now. I lost my groove. I lost my groove. No, my groove. Good God. You're still... Oh, well, there was two. Okay, it does explain a lot, admittedly. Wait, he's still alive. Stop being alive. Okay, oh, cool. Right, great. Now I have no health. There we go. Okay, right. I really tensed up my hands during that moment because I really didn't want to fucking die. You know, I feel like that's... Fuck. Oh, she's here as well. Fucking wonderful. Cool, great, wonderful. That was close. Look at fucking Frankenstein. Ah! Oh, you just edged to the side slightly, you horrible thing. Yeah, I fucking pulled myself to it and then nothing happened. Like, I didn't shoot it, I didn't punch it, I didn't do nothing. Oh, oh, come on. That was a lot of style that time. I just want to get to wave 22. I just want to do it, that's all. One more. Fucking whatever, man. No one wants a short video anyway. I built my fucking channel off of long form content. Let's just fucking do it. Yeah, I have to edit this today, but fuck it, whatever. I don't give a shit. Do what I want. I want to shoot a fucking husk with a fucking corkscrew, I will. I am my own dad. Oh my God. Yeah. Off you go. I did that for fun. Imagine what I'm going to do with the rest of them. That didn't work very well. That did. Although I have a lot of hard damage, so I didn't actually heal that much. But you know, that's pretty standard. I usually have a lot of hard damage on my character. Got you. Oh, beautiful. That was a magnificent headshot. Can I get some appreciation for my many talents? Many, many talents. So many. Take that, you idiot. I think I killed both of them with that, and that's why I got an ultra kill. but for a brief shining moment, I had an ultra kill. Hey guys. Aw, sad. I kind of wanted to hit him with it. Thought it would have been very fun if I did. What do we got? Okay. I dunked him. I straight up dunked him. Oh, I dunked him. You booped it. Yes. Yes, baby. Off you go. Sonny Jim, goodbye. Ooh, yes. No chance for you. Where you at, stupid? It's time to be dead and such. Wait, where, are you hiding from me, Squire? Bro, your moves! Is this some new wave golf shit? I've never seen anything quite like it. Ah, incredible. He wasn't even the last one. What, is the other one glitching out somewhere? Nah, he's just chilling. Oh, well that sure made my day. I think the Hideous Mass is here. That or it's just a Cerberus. Hard to say at this exact moment. Actually, it doesn't look like there's a Hideous Mass here. I think I would have seen it by now. Deal with you. Yeah, it's just a Cerberus. That's okay. That's fine. I can deal with that. And did. Come on, fool. Come on, get down here. Oh, I love doing that. Oh, I love doing that. Oh yeah, I just parried a bunch of shit. I didn't even know what I was doing. Didn't need to. I don't know, I meant to use my corkscrew, but I switched to the wrong weapon. I really should deal with the sword machine. Yeah, screws. Oh. 15. That's not even close. Fuck it. This is the final. No more than this. I have a life to live. I've got to record Hades today. Fuck it. Whatever. I don't give a shit. The more mindless and aggressive I am, the better results I get, so let's do that instead. And people are like, wait, you can be more mindless? And I'm like, buddy, you haven't even seen shit yet. Someday I'll be able to aim that fucking thing. Yes! Off you go! That was a big fucking explosion. Explosion! I didn't even know how it happened. It spooked me. I dealt with him. Where's the thingy? I don't know why I'm like dueling that guy so fucking hard when it's just a Pepsi man. Oh, it's you, I see. Yeah, you want to see some of my best shit? How's that? I don't think he liked that very much. I thought it was pretty funny, but I don't think he liked it. Lamau. I don't have that yet. Good shit. Ooh. fuck, God. Oh, it just wasn't generating any blood. Oh, I really want to get... Oh, I'm doing even worse. Ah, one more. Fuck it. Ooh, 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 where are they? Ooh. Okay. It's alright, fine. Right, I can see the world's trying to send me a message. Enough. The universe has spoken. Alright, well, that was the reading episode that turned into a Cybergrind. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. There's some very cool lore behind this game. I would love to see an RTS/4X of this game, frankly. I think it would be extremely cool and fun. I would enjoy that very much. But at any rate, I'm still looking forward to future ULTRAKILL content. I have no plans to do the secret levels as of this exact moment, but might do in the future. I don't know, we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Special thanks to Summercat, Flanny, Painted Dragoon, Lila the Hagsire, Lit Potatoes, Proxy, Caminera, Heartland, Harrick J, Dresso, Sion Distance, LOL, Final Legend, Etherbin, Linky, Xeon Cedar, Bimblewatch, Majoko, Mymoon, Alkia, Sweet Baby Red, Jessica Kitty, Plutonium Pie, Dreamer Ghost, Leper Lullaby, K-Bub, Magical, The Frostbite, Monsoon, Warmaster Oku, SCP-106A, Namad, and Kenny T800 for support me on Patreon. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you all so much for watching. This will probably be the end of ULTRAKILL stuff for the immediate future, as later on this week we are planning on starting Ender Lilies. So if you're looking forward to that or just don't know what the fuck it is and you're curious, I think it will probably go up Saturday in my time zone. Don't know what time zone that is for you, but probably Saturday if I'm predicting the rotation correctly. Bank holiday Monday kind of threw everything off, made things very confusing for me. But yeah. Look forward to that. Rest assured there will be more ULTRAKILL in the future. A, because I love the game. B, because there's more to come out. And C, because I haven't done everything. So, you know, take heart, be hype. There'll be more in the future. If you haven't seen the older ULTRAKILL stuff I did before I started playing again recently, maybe go have a look at that. It might tide you over in the meantime. But thank you so much for watching. Whatever happens next time. And I don't know, I'll get around to the rest of that stuff eventually. And we will dethrone JFK someday. But when that happens, I hope I see you there. Doodles. Goodbye.